The National Commission for Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration expands its outreach to armed groups. Disarmament continues to be traded as the only sure arm to weather the storm in the northwest and southwest regions. The public and the core of the magistracy in Cameroon salute the naming of Yap Abdul and Joseph Fongang at the audit and judicial benches of the Supreme Court, describing them as square pegs in square holes. And as machines silence the noise at the work sites of the 2021 African Nations Cup, the Sports and Physical Education Minister sounds a wake-up call for the competition stakeholders to sit up and ensure a smooth organization of the event. Those are our lead stories. Hello and welcome to the 7:30 News. I am Ben Menopofong and this is the 7:30 News.
Each of us must comply with the measures that have been taken.
You're welcome once again. We open tonight with news about the Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Commission as it has been faring in the country since its creation in 2018. Reports from the Bamenda Center say close to 200 ex-separatist fighters and other militiamen have laid down their weapons and reintegrated the center. While at the center, they have been acquiring skills in various trades, with 32 of them having already reintegrated the mainstream society. Eric Langmiawufo reports that some of these repentant ex-combatants have even gained employment in some state corporations.
A group of ex-separatist fighters learning how to produce soap, while others are also acquiring computer skills. There are 137 of them here, with 32 already reintegrated into society.
We have already reintegrated some 32 ex-fighters who are currently working with a parapublic company in the country. And the reports that we get from the field is that they are doing very well.
The ex-combatants, who have also been learning skills in poultry and pig farming, have found a new lease of life, and many here can dream again.
Now I'm feeling more as a human being. We have the basics of computer studies. We are learning how to keep rare animals like piggery and poultry.
Yeah, just from the lab push, one guy was teaching us how to produce savon, omo, all those type of things, of which is good for a lady. I think it can even help you in future.
Some here who have competencies in building and construction as well as carpentry have constructed and roofed this dormitory with a capacity of 70 beds.
Down in the southwest region, the separatist fighters there are being called upon to seize the moment and make use of the opportunities that the government is offering them through the DDR centers to get trained and be reintegrated into the mainstream society. A first set of 36 who joined the center 2 years ago have reportedly returned to the new routines of fruitful activities within the society. Charles Abune reports on the achievements of the center this far.
The first set of 36 trainees at the Southwest Regional DDR Center are now continuing their reintegration into the society and are in different regions of the country.
The feedback we have is highly positive. For those who came from the Southwest Regional Center, they all began in Douala.
A growing number of ex-separatists have been admitted at the Southwest Regional DDR Center in the past few months and are being supervised and trained on a variety of income-generating activities.
In driving, in agriculture, in livestock farming or breeding. As at now, we have initiated training in information and communications technology. We are about starting the barbing workshop, which will go operational in the days ahead.
The government of Cameroon is still inviting as many separatists as possible to come to the Southwest Regional DDR Center, as it is an instrument to enhance peace and make Cameroonians be exemplary citizens and participate in nation building.
And it's almost 2 years today since the National Disarmament, Demobilisation and Reintegration Commission was created in Cameroon. The mission assigned it was to receive and manage ex-fighters of Boko Haram and armed groups in the Anglophone regions of Cameroon. Though the structure is yet to veritably meet the objectives for which it was created, many are Cameroonian are wont to believing that the DDR is an honorable way out for those still engaged in armed struggle. Ebenezer Kanga.
Created by Presidential Decree of 30th November 2018, the National Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Commission organizes, supervises and manages those who wish to lay down their arms, particularly in the far north and the two Anglophone regions.
It is important for the community to understand, to know through communication that the DDR process is moving, that it is working, that it is practical.
About 500 ex-fighters of Boko Haram and armed groups in the northwest and southwest regions have been received so far in the disarmament centers in Boya, Bamenda and Mora. As the head of state maintains, the commission is an honorable way out for the ex-combatants and a prospect for social reintegration.
They are clearly an alternative to death or prison for those who, instead of choosing to surrender and join these centers, continue with fightings either in the northwest, southwest, or in Boko Haram in the far north region.
In almost 2 years of existence, the National Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Commission has made great strides. Its doors remain open to repentant fighters.
On to other developments in the news now. The summit of Cameroon's judicial system has seen a new dawn with fresh appointments following the holding of the Higher Judicial Council Monday. Yab Abdul is the new president of the audit bench and Fonkwe Joseph Fongang, president of the judicial bench of the Supreme Court. Constantine Baum in the following report profiles both appointees whose names may be new in the structures they are heading, but household and trusted names within the ranks of the magistracy in Cameroon.
Yab Abdul has just a few days to occupy this office of the Advocate General #1 at the Supreme Court. He has been given more responsibilities following his appointment as president of the audit bench of the Supreme Court.
I worked firstly in Monatili, after Fou as the procureur, and I went to Samelima, the president of Court of First Instance. Came back here in Yaoundé. I was the president of the Tribunal Première Instance, as you say in French, before going to the presidency.
He comes in with a rich experience to meet the challenges posed by the new responsibilities.
I know that I have to learn, I have to see, I have to work hardly, so to merit the confidence.
Chief Justice Fonkwe Joseph Fongang, a seasoned bilingual judicial and legal officer, is not new to the Supreme Court. He now steers the activities of the judicial bench of the Supreme Court as president. He had even served as Secretary General at the Ministry of Justice.
I see my career being crowned, because to be in the Supreme Court, I think that's where every magistrate should dream to go.
He took his magistracy oath in 1980 and his experience spans over 40 years.
The Supreme Court is not new to me. I've been in the Supreme Court just so many years in the past, but I know where I'm going to, and I know the task that lies ahead of me.
He has co-authored a book titled Cameroon Criminal Procedure and Practice in Action with Another Legal Mind, Eware Ashu, which is a law and political collection of 500 cited cases of all the courts of the Republic.
It has been announced that the fourth and last batch of trainees of the 200 pupil magistrates and 120 court registers to serve in the northwest and southwest regions will soon begin at the National School of Administration and Magistracy. Public Service Minister Joseph Lay made the announcement in Buea today while on a fact-finding mission to assess the condition under which the 2018 batch of trainees are undergoing internship in the southwest region. Emanuela Vernier reports that the Minister Lay also announced that the first batch of pupil magistrates and court registers have already integrated the judicial system in the two regions.
They formed the 2018 batch of the special recruitment into Enam and currently on internship in Buea, where they may serve upon graduation. The 4-year special recruitment exercise, authorized by the President of the Republic in 2017, has ended, and it's time for a balance sheet.
Graduates of the first batch have already been placed at the disposal of the Ministry of Justice for employment. 2018 and 2019 are undergoing training, while those of 2020 batch are due to begin training.
The press conference in Buea is the proximity public service approach of Minister Lee, which intends to communicate all actions taken to users.
This historical act, initiated by His Excellency Paul Biya, is an illustration of his commitment to modernize our judicial system.
Depending on the needs of the Cameroon judiciary, such an initiative may be continued.
A JCE ordinary level candidate who was shot in the leg as he escaped from suspected separatist fighters is said to have returned to the examination hall following intensive medical attention at the Bamenda Regional Hospital. Ngwa Hilbich Shu resumed writing this Wednesday at his GBHS Bamenda Center, where security has been heightened to avoid any further embarrassment. The senior divisional officer for MESAM visiting at the center said measures have been taken to prevent separatist fighters kidnapping candidates on their way to and from the examination centers. Kilo Valorin Salah reports from Bamenda.
In this examination hall in Government Bilingual High School Bamenda, every candidate is being tested, but this student has a double test: writing the exam and managing the stress of a life-threatening incident.
I heard gunshots. About 4 children who had already started going home were running back. I called those who came back and they told me that some Amba boys were trying to take them, and because Ngwashu Heblish was resisting, they shot him on the thigh.
The top administrative official from MESAM visits this establishment hosting examination centers with a message of reassurance.
We have reinforced the security measures so that the exam process will continue with a lot of serenity.
The attempted kidnapping of Heblishu occurred on the same day a teacher in town was being removed from the mortuary of the Bamenda Regional Hospital after being found dead in a water body in Bamenda.
Close to 300 cadet officers who make up the 2018-2020 batch of trainees have graduated from the Yaoundé National Advanced Police Academy. They received their attributes from the hands of the Delegate General for National Security, Martin Bargangele, at a solemn ceremony on the school campus today. Among them were over 100 superintendents of police and assistant superintendents of police who emerged from a 23-month training. Gilbert Ongene has highlights of today's event.
The ceremony for the graduation of these cadet officers of the police corps is out of the ordinary. It is void of the usual fanfare and the traditional parade, all due to the coronavirus pandemic. After receiving their various attributes to their ranks from the Delegate General for National Security, Martin Bargangele, they are now ready to embark on their different assignments within the central and external services of the national security.
I intend to serve the population with all that I've acquired. Wherever they send me, I'll be apt, whatever domain under the National Security Corps.
Happy to be proud Assistant Superintendent of Police today. Everything I've learned here, I hope that I'm going to be able to serve the Cameroonians in every way that I can by giving them my service.
With the hurdles of the training now behind them, giving the police corps a better name wherever and whenever duty calls is now their ultimate task.
The first phase of a nationwide campaign to promote the culture of cybersecurity in Cameroon has been launched by the Minister of Post and Telecommunications. It will run until December 31 under the theme, Let's All Mobilize for Cybersecurity in Cameroon. The Minister of Post and Telecommunications, Minette Libom Lilingeng, launched the campaign today, saying securing Cameroon's cyberspace is of utmost importance to the government. Yoti Kaleli Songe reports.
The cyberspace in Cameroon, an open sesame for users, now a threat to public security.
Cybercrime is a problem that spares no state, no institution or individual.
From less than 10% in 2007, the internet penetration rate in the country has reached 30%. Thereby making cybersecurity imperative. Reason for this campaign to promote cybersecurity and raise awareness on the responsible use of social media.
This is part of a strategy to fight against cybercrime and all forms of crime in the cyberspace, with a view to achieving a genuine digital governance in Cameroon.
Their goal is to create a national coalition for cybersecurity in Cameroon before December 31 this year, when the campaign ends.
A Form 4 student of Government Technical High School in Bamenda is currently attracting national attention for his ingenuity in the domain of aeronautics and spacecraft. Tage Vidiol is his name, and he has been stunning the nation with a prototype airplane he fabricated and which he sets aflight using a remote control. The young technician's ambition is to further his education in engineering so that he can one day perfect his creation and put a real aircraft in space. Romeo Kenye has a profile of the budding inventor and the genesis of his aeronautic ingenuity.
This plane, manufactured with cartons and powered by lithium batteries, is an invention of Tage Vidiol. For the last 8 years, the teenager has been working hard to realize this project.
I love airplanes and I would like to fabricate an airplane when I grow up. I will need a good school so that I can learn more about this my project.
The young aspiring engineer is being drilled in this dream by his parent. Today, thanks to some officials, his creativity is being exposed to the rest of the globe.
I would like to study more out there. I can come here and do more about it.
It was not too easy. He tried, just for the effort he tried to do. I sacrificed everything to see him growing up with the issue.
Tage Vidiol is a Form 4 student at Government Technical High School Bamenda. He hails from Bangang, Bambuto's division of the West region.
The wearing of face masks in public places will be mandatory until further notice.
Thanks for watching the 7:30 news on the Cameroon Radio Television, the CRTV. We are broadcasting live from Yaoundé. Most people tend to avoid going to the hospital these days until it is absolutely necessary, as they want to limit the risk of being infected with coronavirus. Gynecologists complain that family planning appointments have failed, and they fear couples could even be practicing abstinence as they suspect their partners may be infected. What do couples need to know about family planning during COVID-19 crisis? Baldwin and his guest, Dr. BrigadeAntiSardinard, now join us to discuss about that from the Public Health Emergency Operations Center here in Yaoundé. Hello, Baldwin. Good evening.
Good evening to you, Ben Menopufong. I should say the consequences of the ongoing coronavirus spread in the country is what is preoccupying health professionals nationwide, especially gynecologists this evening who've noticed that, for example, there has been a drop in the rate at which pregnant women going for their antenatals during this period that we've had the spread of coronavirus in the country, and especially they have equally noticed that there has been a drop as far as respecting the regular family planning appointments for most couples in the different hospitals is concerned. Couples and family planning during this period that we have the spread of COVID-19 in the country is what we shall be discussing with Dr. BrigadeAntiSardinard. She is a gynecologist. Good evening, doctor.
Good evening, Baldwin.
Tell us, during this period that we have the spread of the coronavirus in the country, what do couples need to know as far as family planning is concerned?
Yes, Baldwin, before I answer your question, I would want us, if you permit, to move one step backwards to the basics and remind our viewers that family planning gives an opportunity for couples to have the number of children they want, and especially when they want to have these children. So family planning is important in birth spacing. And who says birth spacing says we'll have an avenue for children to grow up healthy and develop well. And in the future, those children become productive. So in the long run, it is the families, it is the society, and it is the nation at large that stands to benefit from such productive adults. And you know, like I say, in the long run, the nation stands to benefit because the productive population overrides the dependent population. This is what we call the demographic dividend of family planning. So if I go back to your question, what do we expect the couples to know? The couples should know that the healthcare facilities are available, they are open, and they are waiting for them, and that they should not be afraid. They should come back to the hospitals as long as they have their preventive measures. As long as they're using their preventive measures, they don't have any risk of catching COVID-19, and they should come back to the hospital for their safe and efficient methods of family planning.
As a gynecologist, you receive these couples, have you noticed that this virus or the spread of the virus is affected as far as affected family planning?
Of course, Baldwin. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected all aspects of humanity, and especially the health sector, being a health issue in itself. So in the health sector, aspects of preventive medicine, where family planning is located, are one of those fields where we have a very big impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. So we have noticed a very drastic drop in the number of clients who come to the hospitals or to health centers to look for appropriate health contraceptive and family planning methods. So we are here once again to remind them of their safety when they come to the hospitals or when they come to the accredited health centers, and let them know that they should come back and get good methods of prevention and stop using the traditional methods which we notice they are using. We're already seeing the consequences in the hospitals. So let them come for more effective methods and avoid having unplanned pregnancies and the side effects that go with them.
Thank you so much, Dr. BrigadeAntiSardinard. You are a gynecologist, for being a guest on the 7:30 newscast this evening. The message is clear. That's the take-home message from the Public Health Emergency Operations Center. Back to you, Ben Menopufong.
Thank you very much, Baldwin, and your guests. With those updates out there from the Emergency Center, Cameroonians should continue to keep safe. The engagement of Cameroonian youths at the local, national and global levels was being celebrated today by the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education and her partners. Hundreds of youths whose actions have enriched national and multinational institutions received prizes on the occasion of the 21st edition of the International Day or Youth Day, which is being marked today. This year's edition was observed under the theme Youth Engagement for Global Action. Youth Affairs Minister Mununa Futsu now throws light on the import of this year's theme.
During the week of celebration. The youth movement and associations and different actors participated in many activities implemented by young people themselves, and it showed the talents of our young people. Their capacity will also been reinforced by different workshops, particularly on the sustainable development goals.
That was Youth Affairs Minister Mununa Futsu talking to our reporter Joyce Tata. The Cameroon government has signed a convention with the Adluchem Health Foundation, which operates hospital establishments in 3 regions of the country. The revised establishment arrangement between the 2 partners was signed in an audience that the Minister of External Relations, Lejeune Belambela, granted the Director General of Adluchem Cameroon. Dr. Theodore Bajogo Atangana explains what the new arrangement with Adluchem would look like.
In 2012, we signed the first establishment agreement, which offers many facilities to our foundation, mainly in customs services, consular facilities. From now, we are not going to do an evaluation to renew the agreement. This agreement will be renewed by tacit reconduction.
The Deputy Speaker of Cameroon's National Assembly, Emilia Monjowa Lifaka, is one of the 2020 Scaling Up Nutrition Ambassadors in Cameroon. She was designated by the Helen Keller International Organization. The chairperson of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association was given the award today at the National Assembly and urged to push for policies that will reduce malnutrition in Cameroon. Esther Kmer has the details.
A lone female deputy speaker of Cameroon's National Assembly for the last 11 years, Honorable Emilia Monjowa Lifaka is today amongst the 7 retained as Scaling Up Nutrition Ambassador for 2020. With about 30% of children currently suffering from chronic malnutrition in Cameroon, especially in the northern regions and in the east, she will add her voice to the Rollback Malnutrition campaign.
I really feel honored and humbled. I'm expected to make sure that together with my colleagues, we try to get legislation that will scale up nutrition in Cameroon.
Helen Keller International, which establishes programs that bridge barriers to nutrition, hope for change.
We have some laws that we're expecting Cameroon to pass. We are still looking forward for specific budget lines.
The Commonwealth Parliamentary Association chairperson now intends to take the principle that everyone has a right to food and good nutrition across the globe.
Our destination slot tonight takes interest in the Mount Cameroon National Park, one of the 8 biodiversity hotspots in the Gulf of Guinea. Situated around Mount Fako, the highest point in Central Africa, the park is unique in Africa as the only area where you can find evergreen lowland, rainforest, mountain forest, as well as alpine grassland. Annabelle Dike Enoanyang of CRTV Southwest presents this park, which has one of the wettest places in the world.
The beauty of nature is often said takes away stress. The Mount Cameroon National Park is a place embedded with touristic potential, among which is a conducive ecology structure and a construction road for tourists who may not be able to trek up to the mountain.
It is very important to us because it's very close to the mountain, which all of us know it's a national patrimony, and to be able to preserve the heritage of the mountain.
The park, according to some visitors, has amazing facilities that improves its ecotourism.
This is a really nice place, especially the climate is similar to Europe here, not too hot like down, so we really enjoy it.
From my point of view, it's very well done, really naturally, from wood, natural materials and so on. So I really like the lodges.
The Mount Cameroon Park covers more than 58,000 square kilometers. It spans from Fako to Kmer, and the lodge can be reached out on a day walk either from Boyo Town or Bokwango.
And that was your package for tonight. Thanks for watching and good night.
In this connection, we should avoid stigmatizing